Now, once you have saved your details from the first page, you'll be met with this pop-up here. So again, because you've created an account, you just simply sign in again, and it'll take you on to page 2. Now, I'll just wait for a second for this to load here, and then we will go through the next part of the process. Again, it's just very easy to do. You just simply have to fill in section by section. So in this case here, we have come to page 2. So we are looking at the Kindle ebook content. Now in this case here, the first thing it is asking us is, do we want to set up this digital rights management? Now what this means is, basically what you can do is you can put like a security lock on the Kindle book, which means that only the person who has purchased the book can actually read it. Anybody else outside that won't be able to get into it. But now in some cases it is a little bit complicated, and it just means that if somebody maybe wants to lend this book and send it on to somebody else just to have them to have a look at it, it just means that they wouldn't be actually able to view it. Only the person that actually purchased the book could do that. Now, I have never actually set up this digital rights management at all on any of the books I've done, so I wouldn't actually get I wouldn't actually choose this option. So as I've always done, I just simply go and choose no. So I'm not going to put any kind of lock on my book. Now you can read this one here. It'll explain all what it actually is. So it just means it's kind of just to kind of cut down on the amount of kind of digital theft, because it's so easy for people to send a Kindle book to each other, like with the same way people send MP3 files that are copyrighted material, or movies that are now MP4 files or whatever. It's very easy to send that digital content from one person to the next person, and by having a lock on it, it just kind of only allows the person who's bought the content to actually view it. Now it can cause some problems if other people want to view it. So in this case here, because we are putting up our first Kindle book, the chances of it actually being a wild success and getting sent all over the place, and for losing out on money because it's you're suffering from digital piracy, I think the chances of that happening are very, very slim. So in that case here, that is why I would go with the no option. Now in this part here, it is asking us to upload our ebook manuscript. So you can do all the different formats. You can do it as a Word doc, HTML document, an EPUB, but in this case we have created a MOBI file from the software. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go and locate the MOBI file that the Kindle children's book app created earlier on, and I'm going to upload it here. So in this case here, I'm just going to do a quick search on my hard drive and locate it and then upload it. So it'll just take a second here. Now, as you seen when we had gone through the software, we had it had created a folder in the documents section. So if we just come down to, if I can find it now, it should be Sounds of the Sea. Yeah, so I think it's actually this one. Let me just check and see. Yeah, so we have Sounds in the Sea, and that is today's date, so that I am in the right folder. So what we want to do is, this is the .mobi file. So as you can see here, that's one I've created today. So I simply just click on that, and then I go to open. And it's uploading it here to the KDP dashboard. Now it shouldn't take too long, because you've seen in the earlier video there was only just the book cover and the first 2 pages in it, so it shouldn't take too long to upload. Now again, it would depend on your internet connection and how big your book is, how long this takes. So you can just let it run for a moment. As you can see here, it didn't take that long, so it's already uploaded it. It's saying save successful, and then we have the Sounds of the Sea.mobi uploaded successfully. So now we can move on to the next section, and the next section is it's asking us then to upload our cover. Now in this case here, we can use Amazon's Kindle book cover creator, and we can create a book cover using this here, but because I already have created a book cover image, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to come down to the second option here. I'm going to upload my own book cover. Now this was the book cover you've seen me put in the kids book app a few moments ago. So I'm going to go back over here. I am going to simply select it again. So it's telling me that it can only be a JPEG format or a TIFF. These are the only formats it will take as a book cover. So if you're having trouble getting your book cover located, or you're having trouble, it just won't upload and go into it won't show up, or you're having difficulty uploading your cover, just make sure to check that that you have it in the right format, that you don't have a .png, that it is a .jpeg. Okay, let me just check and see if I have it here as a JPEG. Okay, so the book cover, and I actually have the book cover, unfortunately, as a PNG. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to convert this from .png into a JPEG. So in this case here, if I just go back to my browser, I'm just going to close this window down first. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to a website that can convert a .png into JPEG. So I'm just going to scroll up here just to show you what I'm searching for. So .png to .jpeg, and just do a quick Google search. And it should give me a couple of different websites where I can do this for free. Now, when you are downloading your images from Canva, that would be one thing to make sure that when you do download it, make sure you download your book cover in a .jpeg, so you won't actually have to do this. So let me just see here, if I just scroll down a little bit, there should be a website here that I can do. So we have this one here, png to .jpeg. So that is the one I'm going to use. I think I've actually used it before, because I have it's changed color here. It's not the normal blue color. So I think I actually have gone into this before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply upload this here. I'm going to convert it and then download it, and then I am going to take the completed file then over to the KDP platform. So I'm going to upload my .png file. Okay, Sound to the Sea. Okay, the book cover, I'm going to upload it. So it's uploading there and it's converting it for me. Okay, and it's converting it to a JPEG. So I'm going to do download all. And I'm going to download it back to my desktop, or whatever file that you want to download it to. I probably could actually click on that link here in the bottom of it. Instead, it's actually doing it in a zip file, and I don't want it in a zip file. I think I can actually just download it as an individual image. So if I just go to the yellow button here and click download, I think I'll be able to download it as an image on its own without it actually going into a zip file. Yeah, it has. It's gone into just a single JPEG file. So I'm going to save this now to the desktop, and I'm going to wait for it to download, and then I can go back over to the KDP platform, and then I can select the JPEG. So hopefully it's downloaded by now. So go back over to upload your cover file. And it's just taking a second just for Google Chrome just to download the image, and then I can upload this one. Okay, so desktop, and there is my book cover image in a .jpeg. So I'm going to do open, and it's uploading it. And it shouldn't take too long to do. And then once you have the interior of your book uploaded, you have the book cover uploaded. It's processing the file here. You'll probably see the book cover will show up here when it does it. Now you can move on to the next section, and this is the section where you can actually launch a preview. So you can actually preview your book like you did before on the kids book app. So there's my book cover now. That looks okay. I can launch the preview. You just simply hit the button, and then it'll do the same thing again. It'll just put it in a kind of a preview of what it will look like on the Kindle book. And again, you can you can scroll forward and backwards through it just to make sure that you have the pages in the right order. You haven't left anything out. Everything looks good. You may have done all these steps before, but as well, we're just doing a quick recheck, just make sure everything is okay and that the .mobi file has gone up and looks well. So let's just take a second just to go through this. So it's going to open up now into another tab or another window, and just wait for this here just to load, and then you can scroll through the pages and just to see how it looks. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to pause this for a few moments because I just don't know how long it's going to take. Okay, so now the book has finally loaded. Now it's telling me this alert here, this book contains interactive features. Now I don't know what that actually means. I'm just going to say okay to that. I think I can probably preview it on another preview, but I think there isn't anything on this, so I don't know why that has popped up because there's no interactive features on the book. So I'll just say okay to that. I'll recognize that. Now as you can see here, we have the table of contents. You can actually quickly scroll through your book if you want to do that. And again, it's shown us in the landscape feature. So I'll just scroll down here a little bit, but this is what it would look like on the Kindle book. Now if we just, I think the arrows here, we can scroll back through our book and it should bring up the book cover. So okay, there is what the book cover looks like. So it looks pretty good on the Kindle, and the illustration looks really, really nice. So if we go on to the first page, now depending on the layout of your book, you may have extra pages. Now I didn't put extra pages in when I was setting this up. So if you go on to page 1 here, it probably would be your book title, your copyright, who created the book, and if you wanted to have a little forward, or if you wanted to have mention of your domain name, you would have probably that first page here. But I just didn't do any extra pages for this sample. But if you have created those pages for your book, when you scroll through your book, that's probably will be where it'll show up here. I should have actually said that in the previous the video when we had done the Kindle the kids book app. If you had any extra pages, you would drag them into that order, so that would be page 1 rather than me having my first picture as page 1. But I hope you understand, because I was only doing a quick sample, I didn't want to create extra pages for it. So when you come from the book cover, you're probably going to come on to the first page then, as I said, which is going to have your book title, which is probably going to have any copyright message you would have on your book, and then the next page that you would click on would take you to the start of the story. So okay, but in this case here, we are just going straight to the story. So that is page 1 of the story, and then that is page 2 of the story. So it still looks pretty good, and as you can see here, the text is a good size. It shows up here perfectly on the Kindle. You should have no problem reading it. And again, it's important as well to, when you do have it shown, just do a quick read through in case there's any spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes or anything else that kind of stands out. Because sometimes, when we are working on our own books, it's very easy for us to, our brain sometimes sees mistakes and kind of reads over them and doesn't actually notice it. So maybe you may as well have somebody else just scroll through the book too before you actually make it go live, and see if they spot any errors. Again, I always recommend, before you actually start, you download those individual images from Canva, would be just to do checks like that, to check the spelling, check the grammar, and check everything before you download it, just to save all those mistakes and get them done then, rather than actually find them here as you get near the end of the process. So as you can see here, I can't click on because I've only got these 2 pages in the book, but the book looks good. Now I can change what tablet I want to use. I can do the Kindle e-reader, and it's going to show me how it looks in that. So because the Kindle e-reader doesn't have a color feature, everything is in black and white, but it still looks decent enough if I have a Kindle e-reader. So that is what my book looks like on that. Now it probably actually looks better on the tablet as well, because it's taken up the whole size of the screen. There's no kind of white space around it. So as long as I am happy with that, how it looks, I can go back to the book details. So simply go back to this option up here, and then it'll take you back to the next section then, where we will fill out the next page then. I think the next one then is the ISBN number. So this is the number that will be attached to your book. So as you're probably well aware, an ISBN number is like a long kind of numerical number that if I went to a bookshop and I said I was looking to buy such and such a book, and the person in the book said, well, have you got an ISBN number, they would type that search into whatever the book system they would have. They could do a quick search on that, and because that number is attached to whatever book I was looking for, it would find that a lot easier. For example, if they had difficulty maybe finding the book by the title or by the author, it's another way they can do a search. So in this case here, because we are putting our books in the Amazon Kindle store, Amazon is going to give us a free ISBN number. So this number is going to be attached to your book. So no matter where your book, people can search for your book in the Kindle store with the ISBN number rather than your book title and the author. Now the chance that they would actually do that is probably very slim, but every book should have an ISBN number. Now, in some cases with paperbacks, you do have to you can purchase them yourself, but Amazon, if you publish your content with Amazon, they provide all those ISBN numbers free of charge on their platform. So I am going to leave this here because I don't have a number, and I'm going to let Amazon put a number on it themselves. So in this case here, I am just going to ignore this part, and then I'm going to go over to save and continue. And the final step then is what we are going to do is price our book. How much would we like our book to be priced for? Now in the case of pricing your book, I highly recommend you go back to the Kindle the Kindle store, and if you just want to type in maybe picture books, but just have a look at what the typical price other authors are charging for books. Now another thing to be aware of, if you are a first-time author, I would keep my prices a little bit on the low side until you make a name for yourself and you kind of build a little bit of a following. Then you can charge a little bit more. When you're starting off and you're charging an expensive price, you're probably going to see a lot of people are going to be put off when it seems too expensive. And, when you're starting off, you need to try and get your book in front of as many people as possible. So if you can keep your book low, it just means it'll make it more attractive to people to take a chance on your book. If you imagine yourself, you were looking at a Kindle book for 99 cents, or you're looking for a Kindle book maybe at $4.99. You don't know the author. You're not too sure if it's going to be any good. Is it going to be worth the money? If something's going for 99, you're going to say to yourself, well, I'll give it a go because I'm only going to lose 99 cents rather than taking a risk and maybe spending $5 or $6 on a book and it might turn out be no good. So when you're starting off, as I said, you're not going to make a lot of money until you get a collection of books up. You build a little bit of name for yourself, and this isn't what this course is about. I want you to make as many books as possible, but this course is kind of tailored for the first person who wants to get up in the Amazon Kindle store and wants to be recognized as a picture book author, because it's a big achievement, and that's what I want you to achieve from going through this course. You can make money secondary later on, but again, you're starting off. Don't expect to retire straight away. Don't expect your first book to be a bestseller. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take experience, and you're going to learn as you go along. So the first option we have here is the KDP Select Enrollment. Now, Amazon does this, has this feature for Kindle owners, Kindle device owners, which they can sign up for a set amount every month. I think it's like $6 or $7 a month, and you can read as many books as you want that are are enrolled in this system. So in this case here, what I can do is I can add my book and I can enroll it in the KDP Select system. So what it means is that Amazon is going to allow people to read my book for free, but what Amazon is going to do is they are actually going to pay me for somebody reading my book. So even though people are going to be reading my book free, you still are going to make money. You're not going to make a lot of money. You would probably make more money if you actually sold copies yourself. But because you're a first-time author, again, you want to reduce the risk as low as possible. So I would enroll my first couple of books in the KDP Select system. Now what happens is your book is tied into this system for 90 days, which means you can't sell your book anywhere else except in the Kindle platform or on the Amazon store. And then after 90 days, then you can re-enroll it for another 90 days. Or if you want to take your book and sell it somewhere else, you can do that. But once you click here and add it to the KDP Select, it is tied up to Amazon for 90 days. They have control over the sales of it. But as I said, because you're starting off, you want to reduce the risk as low as possible. So if somebody has a chance to read your book for free, that is a KDP, select reader, they're going to take a chance on your book. And again, Amazon's going to take all those kind of memberships that they charge all those people, and then what they do then is they kind of divide up the money and divide it back to the authors, depending on how many pages of your book are read. So I would say, in the beginning, to get started, I would certainly enroll my books in the KDP platform. So the next option here is we're going to come down to the territories. So where would you like to sell your book? Would you like to sell your book in any kind of individual countries? So if you only wanted to sell your book in the US, you can actually tick that option and only sell it in the US, or you can sell it worldwide and get in front of as many people as possible. Again, you probably say, well, how many people in France are going to be reading my book, because it's an English book. But again, there's English speaking people all over the world. So don't think, don't disqualify them people because you think, well, there's no English speakers actually in that country. You'll be surprised where people actually read books in English. So again, I would just leave it as it is. I would try and sell it in as many places as I can. So I just select all territories, and then this is the part where we come down to the royalties and the pricing. So in this case here, because we are going to sell our books on the KDP store. Now this is separate from the KDP Select system. You can mix, Amazon will pay for any pages read of your book this way, but in this case here you can actually sell books. So people can buy your books that aren't on the KDP Select platform. People can just log into the Kindle store and they can see your book and they can buy it straight away. So there's two different options here. We have the 35% royalty option, and we also have the 70% option. So in the case of the 35% option, it just means that you will get 35% of the purchase price of your book will go to you. Amazon then will get the remainder of it, and in this case here, if you went for the 70% option, you would get 70% of the book price, and Amazon would keep the remaining 30%. Now there is something you need to be aware of. As you can see here, for the 35% option, if I select that, I can only sell books between 99 cents all the way up to $200. Now it would be fantastic to sell a book up the price to that price of $200, but I would only make 35% of those $200. Amazon would get the majority of the money. Now if I wanted to to get 70% of it, if I click here, I would need to sell my book from the price range of $2.99 up to $9.99. So if my book is between $2.99 and $9.99, so it's less than $3 and less than $10, I will make 70% of commission on each book, a royalty. But if I wanted to sell lower than $2.99, I have to keep my book at 99 cents, or if I go over $9.99 all the way up to $200 or so, I will only get 35%. So as you probably see, if you go back to the Kindle store and to the section that you are looking to go, the picture books, you will find a lot of these books, probably for a lot of kind of starting authors, are maybe 99 cents, or you will find maybe ones that are established a little bit longer will sell the books at maybe $2.99 or $3.99 or $4.99. So you're not going to find huge prices on the Kindle books, and Kindle books in some cases are a little bit cheaper than the paperbacks because they're a digital version. There's not much work involved. There's no postage, there's no printing or anything like that. The same file is used over and over and over again. So in this case, because you are starting off, I would go with the 35% royalty, and what you can do then is you put your price in. So in this case here, I am going to go for 99 cents, so that's 0.99, and that is in US dollars. Now, because I am selling in other, sorry, I should have put the dot in there, so that, sorry. Okay, so we finally got there. So as you can see here, I'm going to sell my book for 99 cents. As you can see here, it is telling me then I am selling it at the 35% royalty rate. So I will make 35 cents on every book that is sold. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but over time, these depend on how many books you've created, you will make more and more money. And then when you start building an audience, then you can actually raise the price then. So if you have a look at the $2.99 for your book, you're going to make $2.04 for every book that you sell. So in this case here, this is the Amazon.com store. So again, I'm just going to go back over, change that now just back to 99 cents. Okay, and you can click this tab here, but it just means it'll open up all the different marketplaces, and then it'll tell you then, depending on where it is sold, how much commission you'll make. So you have the Indian Kindle store, you have the German one, the French one, Spain, Italy, all these different places your book will go on sale, and if there's any books sold there, you will make a commission again there too. So now in this case here, if we scroll down a little bit further, what you can do on the next section is matchbook. Now what this means is if you have the print book already created for your book, you can give somebody the option to buy the Kindle book for $2.99 or less. So if I bought Sounds of the Sea as a paperback and I said to myself, yeah, I like that book, I would like a Kindle version of it as well too, please, I can tick this box here, and then if somebody buys the paperback version, they can buy the Kindle version as well too. And then I can say, well, maybe I'm going to give it to them a little bit cheaper because they've already bought the paperback version, so I'm not going to charge them the full price that that they paid for the full version of the Kindle book. So maybe I want to give it away free or something like that, so I can do that. Now because I haven't got the paperback version created for the book, I'm just going to leave that as it is. So there is only going to be a Kindle version of this book. Now what I can do is I can allow readers to share the book with each other. So as you can see here, allow your customers to lend your Kindle book after purchasing to the family and friends for a duration of 14 days. Now again, because you are a first time author, I would tick this box, because the more people you can get your book in front of, the better. If your book has been shared between family and friends, you don't know how this kind of small group can actually grow and grow and grow, and you don't know how many people you could get in front of and how big of an audience you get by ticking this option. And it's only a simple tick. Again, it could be a way of growing your audience. So any future books then, when you start making a name for yourself, you can charge more because this audience is growing. So you can allow this. It's totally up to yourself. Just simply tick this box and that is it. And then once you've gone through all the process of filling all that information out, we come to the final section. And what happens is then what you do is you simply just publish your Kindle ebook. Now it says it can take up to 72 hours for your Kindle book to go live in the store. In most cases I found it probably takes maybe 24 hours or less. Now they may have speeded up a little bit, or it could be a little bit slower since the last time I put a book up. It may take a little bit more or less, but you will get an email to your the email that you registered to create your KDP account. You'll get an email and it'll tell you then when your book has gone live, and it'll give you links to where it is available in the Kindle store. And then once it is live, then you can just click on the link in the email. It'll take you to maybe the .co.uk, the UK store, or the American store, depending on where you are situated. You can go over and you can see your book over there. And congratulations, from this point on you are a published children's picture book author. And again, it is very, very easy to fill this information, so don't think it is too complicated. Just take it section by section, follow along with the video here, watch it a couple of times if you need to, but there is nothing really complicated at all. The hardest part you've probably found so far is probably going through the kids the book, the creator app. If you can get through that part, this here is it's all downhill from here. And again, just click the publish, and then your book will go up, and then you can tell all your family and friends that you are, from now on, you are a published author, and congratulations. Now if you just want to go through the next couple of series of videos, I have a couple of bonus videos. As I said, it's going to show you more about the keyword selection. It's going to show you more about public domain, using the content to come up with book ideas and reusing the content for your own books, and it'll help speed up your book creation process. If you find me coming up with book ideas, you don't know what to write about, you can use some of that information. So I highly recommend you go through the whole series of videos, watch them all, and it'll make more sense. And again then too, if you when your book does go live, if you see some misspellings on maybe the book description, or maybe you want to do a retake of the keywords you've selected, or maybe you want to add a subtitle or add a person contributor to your book that you didn't do when you went through the process, you can come back to this platform at any time, and then you can re-edit anything in the text boxes and hit publish again. And again, it should take a while it could take maybe 24 hours for the KDP platform then to refresh, and that new information then will go will update on the website. Now if you have any problems, don't be afraid to reach out to the KDP people here. If you come up to the help section here, click on it, you'll find a lot of articles, you'll find a community, but you'll also find the people behind the system. You can contact them at any time if you have a question, or if you're having trouble with your book or whatever. I have found them very, very helpful. Just because you're a beginner and you think, well, maybe I shouldn't be asking this question, feel free to ask them. That's what they're there for, and they're more than willing to help out. But you may find maybe the answers that you're looking for maybe in the articles, or if you contact maybe somebody in the community, get speaking to a few people, you'll find the section for the community here as well then too. But if you need help at all, either even send an email to myself, or just click the help section up here and ask the people in the KDP platform to help you with your book. So as I said, continue on, go through the rest of the videos. If you need to go through these again, keep doing it until the hardest time is probably just going through it the first time, and then you'll find as you do this more and more times, it will get easier and easier. So I'll see you in the next video.